Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the fascinating evolution of a true global icon. We're going to uncover the incredible legacy behind Wembley Stadium and look at how a temporary, dirt and concrete exhibition space miraculously evolved over the decades into a record-breaking, modern architectural colossus.
Okay, let's dive right into this because you simply can't talk about this venue without understanding the massive emotional stakes and the sheer global legitimacy it holds. The legendary Brazilian footballer Pelé famously declared, "Wembley is the Cathedral of Football. It is the capital of football, and it is the heart of football." I mean, that perfectly captures the absolute reverence people hold for this specific patch of land in northwest London.
So here's our roadmap for the journey today. First, we'll look at the birth of the Empire Stadium, then explore a century of historic moments, followed by the end of an era, and finally, building the modern Colossus.
Section 1. Birth of the Empire Stadium.
Well, here's a truly surprising fact to hook you right away. This enduring monument, the very heartbeat of English sport, was actually intended to be a completely temporary structure. No way was it meant to last a century. It was built specifically as the centerpiece for the 1924 British Empire exhibition, constructed right on the site of an abandoned tower project known as Watkins Folly. Designed by architects Sir John Simpson and Maxwell Ayrton, the stadium was built by Sir Robert McAlpine in a staggering 300 days. To do that, they had to dig out 250,000 tons of clay, pour in 25,000 tons of ferroconcrete, and use 1,000 tons of steel. And the whole shebang cost just £750,000. And you know, that rapid construction was immediately put to the ultimate test by an unbelievable crowd of 200,000 plus. Yep, that's the estimated number of people who showed up on April 28, 1923 for the stadium's inaugural event, the FA Cup final between Bolton Wanderers and West Ham United. Keep in mind, the official capacity was just 127,000. So spectators absolutely swarmed the stadium, spilling out directly onto the pitch. The game was literally almost abandoned until mounted police intervened. Most famous among them was PC George Scory, riding his gray horse Billy. Billy's calm demeanor somehow helped shepherd that massive crowd back to the touchlines, forever cementing this as the legendary White Horse Final.
Section 2. A century of historic moments.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the venue survived its planned demolition. Because of its wild success and undeniable utility, it was purchased by a visionary named Arthur Elvin, and it quickly evolved into the undisputed cultural backdrop of British entertainment. Over the decades, Wembley basically became a vessel for unforgettable human achievement. In 1948, it was the main stage for the Summer Olympics, where the flying housewife, Dutch sprinter Fanny Blankers-Koen won remarkable 4 gold medals. Then in 1966, it was the site of England's greatest football triumph, a 4-2 World Cup final victory over West Germany, famously featuring Geoff Hurst's incredible hat-trick. And jumping to 1985, Wembley transcended sports entirely, hosting 72,000 fans for the Live Aid charity concert, which was highlighted by that absolutely iconic, show-stealing set by Queen.
But the versatility of the old Empire Stadium definitely didn't stop there. Wembley was so much more than just a football pitch. Did you know it was Michael Jackson's most visited venue? He performed there a record 15 times. The stadium also hosted thrilling stunts by Evel Knievel, a historic 1982 visit from the Pope himself, massive boxing bouts, and even regular NFL games that brought American sporting glitz straight to London.
Section 3. The end of an era.
Now, despite all this incredible history, stadiums are, at the end of the day, physical structures. After 77 years of continuous, heavy service, the beloved concrete infrastructure of the original Wembley had severely aged. So, I want you to think about this question. How do you replace the home of football? It was a highly controversial topic at the time. Demolishing a building with such profound emotional resonance, especially taking down its world-famous concrete twin towers, felt almost like erasing history. But for the legacy to actually survive and adapt to modern safety and viewing standards, a complete demolition was painfully necessary.
The poignant climax of the old stadium's life finally arrived on October 7, 2000. And honestly, there's a deep historical irony to this final match. England played Germany in a World Cup qualifier, and it was Germany's Dietmar Hamann who scored the very last goal at the old Wembley, securing a 1-0 victory. In the immediate aftermath, England manager Kevin Keegan famously resigned, and the doors to the old Empire Stadium were closed forever.
Section 4. Building the modern Colossus.
So, the narrative shifts from demolition to a breathtaking rebirth, culminating in a state-of-the-art arena that finally opened its doors to the public in 2007.
Let's compare these two eras side by side. The old Wembley was defined by its rigid, concrete twin towers and, initially, its massive standing terraces. The new Wembley, designed by Foster and Partners alongside Populous, traded those concrete domes for a soaring 133-meter steel arch and exactly 90,000 perfectly unobstructed seats. The calculated precision of the present structure was designed from the ground up to completely maximize the spectator experience.
Now, what's really fascinating about this architectural marvel is exactly what that arch actually does. It's not just there to look pretty. At 133 meters tall with a massive 315-meter span, it is the longest single-span roof structure in the entire world. Yes, it acts as an aesthetic beacon visible all across London. But structurally, it's an absolute game-changer. It literally supports the entire north roof and 60% of the south roof. This brilliantly eliminates the need for any interior columns, which is exactly why every single one of those 90,000 seats has a flawless, unobstructed view of the pitch.
But the engineering feats definitely don't stop at the roof. Just look at these staggering modern marvels. The new Wembley encloses 4 million cubic meters of volume inside its walls. To put that into perspective, you could fit 25,000 double-decker buses in there. It boasts a partially retractable roof that can open in just 15 minutes to let sunlight hit the Deso technology hybrid pitch, which brilliantly blends real grass with synthetic fibers. And actually, this is probably my absolute favorite statistic on this entire list. It features exactly 2,618 toilets. That is a delightfully surprising, undisputed world record for the most lavatories in a single building.
Of course, constructing a modern Colossus isn't exactly easy. Delivered by the Australian firm Multiplex for £798 million, the project actually endured major construction delays and complex legal disputes. But ultimately, they surmounted those challenges. The stadium was successfully handed over just in time to host the 2007 FA Cup final, proving that despite the massive transition, Wembley's legacy was firmly and safely secured.
So, the crucial takeaway here is that stadiums are really just vessels. They are massive, beautiful containers for human memory, passion, and triumph. As Wembley strides boldly into its second century of existence, the ultimate question isn't just about the concrete or the steel arch. It's this: what history-making moment will you witness? Hopefully, understanding the incredible legacy behind this venue leaves you eager to experience it for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.